Cool. Welcome to this the next in our series of JCF lives. And yeah, I just want to acknowledge something like this is about joy of business. And when me and Paul just got on together, I just got so happy. So I'm really grateful for the joy that you be, Mr. Kearney.
Thank you very much, Kelly. My pleasure to be here. You too. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And we kind of titled this, it was kind of funny, and it's I'm a JCF. Of course I know that, which is like tongue in cheek. Because I think what I'm getting is like how much we need to be reminded of things,
Yeah,
like even the
completely.
basic tools. And so yeah, anyway, like thank you so much for coming on. And I wonder if you'd be willing to like just give maybe a little elevator pitch of like your journey with business and with joy of business that brought you to this point of being a JCF.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So it was, I remember doing my first business done different in Paris, I'd say around 5 or 6 years ago with Simone. And it was so different. I remember it was like, she was talking about like poof, 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 poof. So basically, everything you ask for can show up, and it's allowing that space for it to show up. And what space do you need to be? And it was I'd done a lot of work, done a lot of international projects, worked with a lot of companies, and it was so different. It was so different to mainstream business, and it was so light, it was so joyful, and it was so fast. That's one of the things that really struck me. It was like how fast things could change. And it's like once we're willing to let go of a point of view, look at things differently, everything can change. And the tools of joy of business really facilitate that very brilliantly.
Mm. And it's curious to me. I noticed this. Thank you so much for sharing that. And like I noticed this myself, even when I wonder like how do people work like that? Because I've often like I've been also working with Access for quite a few years, and then I talk to people and I'm like, how do you do this? Like it's just it's such a cool thing to acknowledge how when you go down this road, like how different the whole thing of this whole area of business can become, which is so cool. So thank you for that. And I know that when I asked you about, I'm a JCF, of course I know that. You mentioned, and I asked you what you wanted to talk about. You mentioned structure and systems, which is a big conversation that is kind of coming to the fore, and it's been around for a while, but in like recent weeks, like really looking at it even more. So I'm wondering like what you're aware of with that, and also maybe you could talk to some changes that have been showing up for you, your life, and your business since that conversation kind of started.
Yeah, well, I remember 10 years ago, I'd say more than that, being out at a 7 day in India and having a chat with Gary about systems and structures. So it's like, it's not new. It's just that it's come at a heightened level now, I would say. But basically, a structure is where we make it solid, and that it's like it's a concrete building. And the analogy Gary was using at that stage was a concrete building versus a forest. So if a hurricane comes down, it can blow down one tree, it can blow down two trees, whatever, but the forest can adapt, change. Everything is fluid, everything is movable. The concrete building will fall down, and it's like just completely destroyed. And it's like the beauty of a system is that it's adaptable, so it can change. And the same for us, that we're able to adapt and we're able to change, because oftentimes the universe may be sending us in different directions to do something different that we're on the planet to do that we don't realize. And it's like when we actually acknowledge that and step into what's the gift of it, everything can open up, because there's new spaces available all the time. There's always new possibilities, always new choices. And it's like the systems support the business, they allow the business to grow, but they don't dictate to the business. So they can move and they can change. Structure is solid and by and large doesn't change.
Yeah. So can you give an example in your life of where you noticed that you were maybe having some structures in place? Like this is like a reveal all moment.
Yeah.
Just as a because it's taken me a while. Like I've heard this information and now things are starting to like emerge. But I'm wondering if you have an example that you can think of like a in your life or in your business where you notice like, hey, wow, I was actually functioning a lot from structure. and now you kind of changing it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so it's like I did a lot of international projects, and like they were very formalized. They were with big companies. They were done in a certain way, and it's like when you were playing with Access, it was so different. It was just like ding, 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 ding. Everything was different, and it was like the difference was chalk and cheese, and it was like the speed that was able to be achieved was pretty incredible because everything was fluid, everything was movable, everything was fixable, and it's like it's easy for us to get caught in structure because structure is solid and it's rigid and it's like, oh, okay, this is the correct answer. Compared with systems, we have to be in the question, and we have to be in the question to see what will work here, what can I change here, what's required here, and be open to the contribution of the universe.
Yeah. And that was one thing that I realized about structures and systems is like with a structure, it's all right and wrong. Like exactly what you just said. You either looking for the right or the not right, right or the not wrong. And I so love what you said about like the being in question always. And that, what was it? The systems allow you to function from literally from what else is possible.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is like
completely.
most
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
and structures will always be right or wrong compared with systems. It's like everything can change, everything is movable, everything is malleable, everything is fixable. So it's like, okay, cool. What do we need to change here? What can we do different that opens up a space? And then we also receive the contribution of the universe because with structures, a lot of the time, it's predictable realities. So people are looking to have predictable realities.
Yes.
They know
Wow.
what they know what they're going to be doing in 20 years. They know what they're going to be doing in 30 years. They know what they're going to be doing in 40 years. And it's like rather than actually having the elation of creation, where you're continually looking at things differently and saying, okay, cool, what can I create here? What can I change here? What's possible?
I think you need to coin that phrase, the elation of creation. I think
The
you could make
elation of
millions.
creation, yeah, but it's like it's having the fun of just being able to continually create, continually change what's possible here.
Yeah, I love that. And actually, something that I just remembered is I did my very first business done different class with you.
Yes,
Remember that?
I remember. That was a lot of
That is
fun. That
so
was a lot of fun.
cool. Yeah. So yeah, it was because I was thinking also of the next business done different class I'm going to be doing, which is with Simone,
Yeah.
as many of you probably know, in Budapest. But that first business done different class was so interesting to me because I think I went into it thinking like this is like business is serious and this is how you do it, and it's got nothing like we're going to talk about like profit and loss and all of those
Yeah.
fun things. And then we walked into the class, and I think everyone was like, but we're talking about relationships, talking about money, like, we talking about all these things. So I wonder, like as a facilitator of that class, business done different, which kind of speaks volumes just by itself. Like, what is facilitating that class contributed to your life?
Oh yeah, it's been amazing. I've facilitated a lot of business done difference around the world, and it's like it's interesting to see the different cultural conditioning that's there, the different ways people look at it, and it's like each country is very, very different. It's rich and it's very deep. There's a lot in it, and it's like as you say, you can go anywhere. It's like what relationship has sex to business, what relationship has money to business, what relationship has relationship to business. But it's like everything is interlinked, everything weaves, and it's like when you're willing to see the gift in everything and look at, okay, what's possible here, what space is available that I've never considered, because things open up and it's like, wow, there's a new possibility here that I've never considered that's available. How does it get any better than that?
Yeah, and I so love that quote that a lot of people say all the time of Simone's, when it's like, when you get up, put your feet on the floor, you have blood running through your veins, you're in business. Like, you don't have to have all these things. And I think sometimes when people see like a business class, they're like, no, I don't have a business. I'm just a housewife, or I'm just a mom, or I'm just like a freelancer, or I'm just like, they kind of take themselves out of it. But it's actually so relevant for literally anyone.
Yeah,
like,
completely.
You know what I mean? So cool. So we are going to wrap up soon. These are just like quickies together. But I wanted to ask you, obviously, like with Joy of Business and Business Done Different, there's so many tools, and that manual is like, it's like a massive
Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have that, and I'm like, sometimes open it and I'm like, oh shit, that's like mind blowing. But I wonder if you could say like one tool or one question or something that you like maybe ask yourself in the morning, or you really get a lot of value out of, like, and you want to leave with people, what would that be?
One of the ones is coming up. It's a simple one, but it's a goodie. It's just, what would it take for this to show up with ease? And it's actually asking for it to show up with ease, whatever it may be. Like, it's with your business or with employees or whatever is happening. It's like, what would it take for this to show up with ease? And then also get clear on what you desire. What are you asking for from the universe? Because a lot of the time we're not clear, and the universe is kind of like, well, what do you want? And it's like, and we're like, it's not showing up. So it's like being willing to be clear. So what would it take for this to show up? And just being clear about what you desire.
Yeah. Wow. And that question, what would it take to show up with ease, is Business Done Different.
Yeah.
Because
Most
it is so
definitely.
different to be willing to ask that. So
Yeah,
yay.
completely.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Kelly.
And I really hope to see you somewhere soon. And thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you again soon.
See you soon, folks.
Bye.